tangi to ora. Tihe Māori ora, kia ora mai tātou, nā mihi o te rā, nā mihi o te wā, ko Puoro Jerome tēnei. My name's Puoro Jerome, and thank you for tuning in and listening to our podcast, ORO ATUA ki te ao. I'm utilising Taonga Puoro and revitalising the practices of using Taonga Puoro as healing tools for ourselves and for whānau going forward into the world. So we started off our kōrero today with the beautiful sounds of the nguru. Nguru is this nguru particular one is that you heard and referenced in that little waiata is the Nguru Tohora. It's the tooth of a beautiful mother whale. So I was really lucky to be given this a while ago now, quite a few years back now. I was spending some time in Tāmaki, and I was on tour there with some of our whānau, sharing Taonga Puoro, and I lived in London for quite a few years, and had a band over there called Huia, and we used to mix the contemporary sounds of London through sort of R&B and hip hop and electronic music. We had a studio there called the Whare Huia, and we created an album way back in 2009, so we're going back now. It was a really amazing time. Anyway, I moved back to Aotearoa, and then some of the band came back from London, and we toured around Aotearoa. It was fantastic. While we were in Tāmaki, we met up with some whānau from up there who had come along to the gig, and sort of through a friend of a friend, I was introduced to this beautiful kuia called Burden, and she invited us around for a cup of tea the next day after our gig, and when I got around there, I got to see all of her beautiful raranga mahi, all the beautiful weaving and that, and we're sort of like 3/4 of the way through our huinga and through our gathering and having a cup of tea and a kai and having a good hangout. And then she reaches up into her kete and she goes, "Oh, I've got something for you." She reaches into her kete and it was one of those moments where it's like the rays of the sun are coming through the window, and it's sort of like a bit of a heavenly moment. And she pulls out this nguru, this tooth of this mother whale, carved into a beautiful nguru, one of our Taonga Puoro. And so she gifted that to me for my mahi going forward. So I'm always telling the story, and I'm always grateful to for Burn for gifting us this beautiful nguru. She's from Ngāti Whātua and Taitokero there. So and the pūrākau or the kōrero that goes along with this nguru is that there was a mother whale and a baby whale. They were stranded quite a long time ago, and they had beached themselves there, and unfortunately they had passed away, so the whānau there gathered and performed ceremony around that stranding, and then in the kōrero they were buried in the sands and then taken care of for quite some time, several months, and then more ceremony were performed to bring those bones out. And then so this tooth that I'm holding in my hand and the sound that you heard at the start comes from the kauwairaro, the bottom right hand jaw of this mother whale, is the back tooth of a praua. So I think in Pākehā that's a sperm whale. And so that tooth was taken out and created into this beautiful nguru. And as more time passed and I spent more time with the nguru, some other kōrero came out from that, and that's that during that time of the mother whale's life with her whānau and with her baby, and she would sing to her baby, and never forget this kōrero of my nene, only the type of love that a mother would know. and that always struck me, and it's sort of like, I think when my nan shared that kōrero, I was looking a bit puzzled, and she goes, our mums carry us in their womb, for 8 or 9 months, and then birth us into the world, and that's probably one of the most miraculous things to happen in life. And tēnā taonga te rā. And so she sort of quickly remedied the puzzled look on my face, and said, our mums carry us around, birth us, and for that, that's what I mean, only the type of love that a mother would know, and that's always stayed with me, like, just as honour our mums and our kuia, and of course we honour our tāne as well, but in relation to this nguru, that coming from the mother whale, that makes it sort of like pieces all the puzzles together for me to give this this kōrero and share the sound of this nguru. So the kōrero within it is that the mother would sing to her baby, and all those beautiful love songs, only the type of love songs that a mother would know, are permeated in the tooth, or they resonate through the tooth, and they remain there, that mauri of the rolohas in that tooth from our tohora whānau. And when we play this tooth as ira tangata, what it's doing is reminding us of that connection to our mums, and reminding us of our connection to that mother whale and to our tohora whānau, because indeed we're connected and related to the whales too, and all natural living things, deep connection with each other. So anyway, when I play the nguru, that's always the kind of is that when we play it, that the vibration set off again, and out comes that beautiful song. And so this nguru for me is very powerful when I'm utilising it for myself and sharing it with others too, right from our pepe and kohanga right through to our kui and kraua, and when sometimes when we're working at the marae or with communities around the motu. Doesn't matter where we go, even right across the whole world, this nguru has a very special effect, and each of our pūro have that effect, but this one's really brings that vibration of the mother, and it's very important in the history of ira tangata, and how our wahine have been treated in many occasions, and tamea. So that's the sacredness of that song that comes out as through there. Now this end here that you hear me play, that's played with the nose, with the ihu, and that's something special again, because of our practices of hongi, and my nanny was a maternity nurse, so she would often talk about how when you're a little baby and you're born into the world, the first thing you'll do is inhale through the ihu, and then you exhale out of your waha, and then that sort of goes. You repeat that millions of times throughout your life, And my nan shared with me, it's some of the hono between things like hariru and hongi, and playing some of our nguru and flutes and stuff with our nose. She talked about we inhale and exhale all through our lives, and when we get to the end of our life, the last thing we'll do is exhale. And she sort of talked about her experiences of delivering babies. She delivered most of the babies of taihawhe through 30-40 year period, and as a maternity nurse and a nurse, that was her mahi. So it's all connected, and this nguru is very special. That end there that you hear is played, and how I utilise it within a whānau context is to play to our babies, and so play it very softly, and the repeating pattern of nature. So I was just outside before gathering some kawakao to have me a bit of a kawakao tea, but the tui flew into the tree there and start singing, and we just listen to our manu and we see that they repeat the patterns of song. They'll just sit there and sing their song, have a little pause, and then they'll sing it again. And they'll do that for however long, but it's that repeating pattern of nature, and we hear that a lot. If we tune into that sound, we hear the repeating pattern of songs. And so after sort of being in wānanga on that, then and working with some of our babies to help them get to sleep, then I repeat the pattern of the hei whakatangita nguru. So I'm going to play it again as if I'm playing for our babies with the repeating pattern. It's very gentle, so I'm playing this with my ihu, and it sounds like this. So I've played that, different, just whatever comes out first, then I'll just repeat that sound. So played that for too many babies, over my time of being a Puoro practitioner, and it's one of my favourite things to do, to sit there with, our mokopuna, our tamariki, our babies, and to help them to go to sleep at night. And it's that repeating pattern that'll get them into sweet dreamy land, which is cool. I was with my cousin and he's got 3 young boys, sort of under 7ish, and they're all haututu as and they're hypo as, and he was trying to get them to sleep, and they're sort of mucking around having jokes, and he goes, "Oh, bloody hell, cuz, can you help me?" So I said, "Oh, I've got my nguru here." And I sat in the room with them in the dark and played their nguru, probably only for a couple of minutes, and boom, they were out to it. And so it's really cool, and I love doing that. And we're normalising it again for our whānau and our tamariki, because for a lot of us, we never grew up with those sounds, and that's changed, and that's amazing. I used to play that for one of my whāngai daughters, and when she was a little baby, and didn't take very long to get her to sleep. But as she got older, it got more and longer, and she sort of cottoned on to the trick that, this is the sleepy sound, and so she'll try and talk and ask questions, and just to keep awake. So that's pretty crack up. But beautiful time and beautiful memories together with our babies, playing our nguru. So that's one end, and again, this is just my own experience and some of our own tikanga that we've developed in our whānau, with the guidance of our koe and karaua, in terms of weaving Puoro back into the fabric of our society, and so this other end here that I play is, so the beginning of the tooth is for the beginning of the life, for our babies, and then the end of the tooth, and our hapu and our whānau, we play it for the end of our people's lives. So e tangihana, or perhaps one of our whānau's sick and they're on their way out, and we play that other end, and that's really, for me, we're bringing in that mother whale song again, and helping to poroporo ake and farewell our loved ones, so this end here I'm going to play for all our tūpuna, all those people that have passed away in your own lives, and for mine too. We recently sent off our Krauanga Hape Pora Tūwai, so I'd like to dedicate this whakatangi, this waiata for him, and to all of our people out there, putanoi te motu, putanoi te ao, who have crossed over or crossing over or on the other side. So Ane, rātou kia rātou, e nā te whakatangi. Yeah, so that's two of the ways that I utilise our nguru, eh? And as I've mentioned in some of the other kōrero, each of our puoro, or for me anyway, each of my puoro and my whānau, they have their own personal names, eh? So ko te momo te puoro nei, ko te nguru, engari ko tōna ingoa ko Tohora ari kinui, and that's in reference to that majestic mother whale that this tooth comes from her bottom right hand jaw, and the power that of aroha, eh? From a mother to her whānau and tamariki mokopuna. So yeah, I also naturally I started to hold there's tahirua toru, there's e torunga wene ke roto nā tēnei taonga. There's 3 finger holes, and then there's another hole up the top here where you play with your nose. So sort of it isn't so much a finger hole, but when sometimes I'll place my fingers on the 3 wene, and then with my index finger I'm tapping. And that tapping sound, later on I found out from some whanaunga who, a lot of their mahis with tohora, and they're out there recording, and what I found out about that type of whale that this tooth comes from, the pro, is that they, the mothers often make a tapping sound or clicking sound, like dolphins and lots of other, even some of our manu, they make that clicking sound sometimes. What I noticed is people often comment on how soothing that sound is also, which is really interesting. Again, just listening to kōrero, piecing it all together, and then sharing. And so that's a sort of another type of paupau, or some kind of like whakatangi at the tohora, and the whanaunga kōrero who are working with the tohora a lot, saying that that's those clicks sounds is what their mother will be sharing with their babies as they journey, and those sort of clicking, tapping sounds is the way that they kōrero to the baby to sort of like set the map, set the navigation, and so that's that's another kōrero relating to our tohora and the sounds that come from this beautiful nguru. Well, no, that's I think that's enough for this kōrero, I puka kōrero anō, and I just thought I'd play the nguru through the end that we use for our babies, and just to sign off, and hei whakakopi tēnei wahanga. So mauri ora kia tātou. Koina te tangi tohora ari ki nui mai tōna nguru, tōna niho.